Sunday Night Football is kind of where I thought the Bears would be once they advanced the entire time here. The game itself certainly did deliver, but quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford and Caleb Williams, who do have this immense arm strength, there's a lot of quarterbacks who can throw the ball really far or really hard, put a lot of revolutions on the football to kind of cut it through a stiff breeze or cold conditions. But you certainly saw from each of the guys, and again, like between the two, as far as who, the passing numbers are very similar. Caleb, 23 out of 42. Matthew Stafford, 20 out of 42. So it's, not like between the two of them, Caleb had an all-around more exceptional night passing the football statistically. But as far as which quarterback most consistently threw the ball where he meant to throw it, how about the comfort between the two, just to my eye? Caleb appeared to be the quarterback more consistently just comfortable in those extremely chilly weather conditions. And I didn't come into this game thinking that the climate would be a big issue for Matt Stafford because he's played in the cold before. Now, living in L.A., residing there on a full-time basis, that is a different scenario. Coming from, I think Kaylee Hartzell mentioned during the pregame, a 50-degree difference in weather, or 60-degree difference in weather coming from L.A., what it's like right there, to getting here to Chicago. And that certainly can be a shock to the system. That does enhance the difficulty of that adjustment, I would imagine, for a quarterback or for anyone handling the football throughout the game. But I was surprised. It's one of the worst games Matthew Stafford has played in what might end up being an MVP season, and the Bears defense was the one who had him befuddled. Had Sean McVay uncomfortable, and it showed up in the way the quarterback played as well. So a lot of credit to the Bears. We will talk about that in a little bit more detail throughout the post show. But let's get back out to the phone lines at 312-644-6767. Quentin, out at O'Hare Airport. I want to talk about what happened with the game between the Bears and the Rams, where the Rams came out on top. Quentin, what's happening?
Hey there. I was a little disappointed in the game, but we had a good run. We had a good season. We won the division. Now for the offseason, we definitely need a pass rusher. That's the top priority as of right now. We already got the key elements in the offense. The only thing that's missing, we need a pass rusher. That's all I've been hearing for so long. We need a pass rusher, and we need a new stadium. I think all the headlines over this new stadium, enough is enough. So now, Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, y'all need to step up. If y'all don't step up and get this stadium done, you ain't getting my vote for re-election or whatever it is that y'all got.
All right, appreciate that, Quinn. Thanks a lot, man. So covering a few different fields there with Quinn, but the game itself, headed to the offseason and the stadium itself. The way things kind of timed up here with the stadium as well, because I know there was, some of the initial opinions, and you had the initial game against the Green Bay Packers coming up, and then that's where the news got leaked about where things stood with the stadium and how the Bears might handle it, and then you end up with the Northwest Indiana possibilities that developed there. And, now even last week's game against the Packers, where there's pictures of NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell over there in Indiana checking everything out. One benefit of the strong close to the season for the Bears, all the positivity around the team. I know a lot of folks are kind of worried about the timing of it, taking some of the steam out of the anticipation for Green Bay games and playoff runs, but when you really think about it, there's not a great time to discuss difficulties of building a new stadium and maybe moving things away from Chicago. But if you're going to let some news leak out, to do it in the midst of so much of our attention and the oxygen around Bears coverage being taken up by this remarkable run to a division title in the playoffs, I don't work in Bears PR. I just talk about it for a living. But if I was in the office, right now wouldn't be a bad time to have some of the mixed reactions and mixed reviews out there about how things are going with the stadium, because there is a lot of positivity around the team at the moment. So, now we're still going to spend a lot of time breaking down the season for the Bears, the games of tonight, everything else, but you get to a couple of weeks from now where we're not breaking down games anymore. the stadium conversation would be that much more tense and have that much more scrutiny on it. 312-644-6767. Rob is in Cedar Lake. What's happening, Rob? You're on the Post Show.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Let's break this thing down. What is Ben Johnson thinking? Not kicking that field goal, first of all. Second of all, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and I think just the question in general, Bears end up 3 out of 6 on 4th downs in this game. So the opening drive, and thanks for the call, Rob and Cedar Lake, opening drive that the Bears end up going for a 4th down, converting it into a touchdown. Not the first touchdown drive that they responded. They went for that 4th down in a goal-to-go scenario. There would have been a chip-shot field goal. I had a bigger issue with that one than I did a little bit later where they went for a 4th down, passing up a 50-yard field goal try. So as far as the first 2 4th downs, those are the ones that I had the biggest questions about. Because to me, and I felt similarly about some of the decisions in last week's game as well, that to be able to have the opportunity, all the trust you have in Cairo Santos, where you're confident, you got a chance to put points on the board in these really difficult field conditions, weather conditions. From my kind of old school dinosaur type sensibility, 2 weeks in a row now, I would have preferred for the Bears to just put 3 on the board on occasion, especially early in the game, and just have something come out of that drive. Ben Johnson is an aggressive guy. He's an aggressive play caller. His defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, they are sort of evenly yoked in that regard, with D.A. is a really aggressive guy from the schematic perspective as well. So this is just how the Bears franchise is going to be wired with Ben Johnson running the show. I'm not always going to dig it, man. Maybe season by season I'll get more on board with it. And I do think there's a case to be made for some of these decisions, but to me, especially once you get into games like this, it feels to me like, yes, there would have been more opportunities to just put the 3 on the board and kind of get to the next series, because the benefit is that opening drive, sure, you get a touchdown out of it, but if that goes awry, if the ball sails on Caleb, if that defender who is between Caleb and DJ Moore knocks it down, then you leave with nothing, as we did see a few times the Bears left with nothing. But that is the cost-benefit analysis that a guy like Ben Johnson gets paid $13 million a year to go through. 312-644-6767. Let's get a timeout coming to the top of the hour. I see John in Oak Forest. I see Eric in the car. I see Jimmy out there. Troy. Everybody on the phone lines right now. We will keep the conversation rolling. I'm Anthony Herron. This is the Post Show on Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score.
The Bears lose to the Rams in the divisional round of the playoffs, ending this magical season for Bears fans. Around as we react to the game, but also start to look ahead to the offseason to see what Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles will do to improve. So keep it here on Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Hey, Chicago fans, Patrick Manley here. It's time to kick off your deck project with TimberTech, a real decking all-star. TimberTech is the #1 brand in premium decking. It delivers real wood looks without the hassle of costly maintenance, and it will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel. Plus, with industry-leading warranties, you know your deck will perform at the top of its game season after season. Discover why TimberTech is Chicago's MVP of decking and railing. Order free samples at timbertech.com.
It's Blackhawks and Bulls season on Chicago Sports Network. Visit chsn.com/radio to sign up for our 7-day free trial of our all-access plan, which gives you over 300 live games per year. Catch every basket and every goal from your mobile device, television, or wherever you want to watch. CHSN is your home for the Blackhawks and Bulls all season long. Chicago Sports Network, your home stream advantage.
When it
comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Good, better back.
Good, better back.
Never let it back.
Never let it rest.
So your good gets
So your good gets better.
and your better is back.
And your better is back.
One month down to 1, 2, 3.
Main Glass and Home Services produce our Chicago football team and this fantastic run. We want the northern suburbs of Chicago to know that Main Glass is not just a good investment.
Oh, Cuba, that's Cuba. I just heard 670 Cuba mixing in. Wow. Nice. Yeah, I hit Cuba. Yeah, you hear the music in the background, right? You hear the Spanish music? Wow, I'm getting Cuba. Holy moly. There you go, Chicago.
And you can learn more at lemon19.com. 40% alcohol by volume, imported by
Yeah, I heard Cuba.
USA, New York
I heard Cuba. I heard la emisora de la revolución. I heard it. I heard some music.
No. So we're giving you more reasons.
Yeah.
Like a free 5G phone.
Radio Progreso.
With select plan activation. Can I use
No,
the
no,
free
no.
phone?
Rebelde. Right? Rebelde.
To say yes to more.
Because I heard la emisora de la revolución. When I hear that, that's Cuba. And I heard the music. Boom, 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 boom. I heard some.
Another app for inventory.
Oh, it just blew in here.
Oh, don't forget accounting.
Now, look. That's Cuba. I mean,
was that?
Chicago. Look. 60.
Or you could use Odoo.
Chicago's blowing in now.
Rated system that does it all.
But when it faded, Cuba just came in. On 670.
The app overload.
That's like the third time I got that in the last few years.
Try Odoo free.
This happened right now.
Odoo.com.
Booyah!
ODOO.com.
Yeah, look at DX, baby, DX.
Comes to close after the Bears fall to the Rams at Soldier Field in the divisional round. Keep it here as the score team.
By the way, I'm located in Yonkers, New York, USA.
Right here on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score. Broadcasting live from the Hyundai Studios. Presented to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. WSCR Chicago. WBMX HD2 Chicago. And Odyssey Sports Station. And now, live on 670 The Score. And on the Odyssey
Oh,
app,
nice.
it's Anthony Harris.
La emisora de la revolución. Well, it was good to hit Cuba for a second there. Nice. That was nice.
And it was too late for Matthew Stafford. Say what, we are seeing Dennis Allen coming out and playing this half like he played
Exciting moments for that Bears defense tonight at Soldier Field. Hour number 2 coming at you here on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score. I'm Anthony Herron. This is the post show on The Score. As the Bears season comes to an unfortunate end, I mentioned that being exciting. We are excited about our FM debut on 104.3 The Score. Coming February 2nd during Mully and Hall Show. That's right, all Score shows, Cubs and Bulls games on FM. High fidelity all the time, including in downtown Chicago. The Score will still be heard on 670 AM, but starting Monday, February 2nd, is the debut of 104.3 on FM.
Oh, wow, they're going on FM.
Presented by the official sportsbook of The Score.
Oh, boy.
Sports betting the way it should be. 312-644-6767. A couple of callers already are referencing
I hope
where they want the
6, 7
Bears
years
to
will
go
go off the air in the
this
future.
offseason. Happy
It only
to
becomes
have that
FM.
conversation
Wow.
with many of you, but also
Well, then again, if
talking
6,
about the
7
game
goes off
tonight.
the air.
And Grant Leader plays that highlight
Yeah, I
of
got
Jaquan
Cuba.
Brisker sacking Matthew Stafford.
Or something else.
Appreciate the sound from NBC on that.
Whenever a station
highlight
goes
as
away,
well.
there's always
And
an opening for
the Bears
another one.
defense as a whole had a much stronger night.
But nah,
than
seriously,
I would imagine than
I hope it
most
doesn't
of
go
you
away.
anticipated
Please,
they would
no.
against the top offense.
I get Cuba
in the
anyway if
National
I
Football
null it
League.
out.
10 different games this
See, I
season.
nulled it out.
And you got Sean McVay, maybe the top offensive mind.
Right now, Cuba's not coming in.
Stafford, one of the most talented,
There you go.
productive quarterbacks of this
They just
century,
blew it for a
swinging the
minute.
ball
Wow, it was like
well,
a
and
minute.
all those weapons that they have between Devontae Adams back
Mixed
in
in
the
with
lineup,
Cuba.
with Puka Nacua, one of the most productive receivers in
Emisora
football.
de la Revolución.
And also, one of the best and most efficient rushing attacks is a combination of Kyron Williams
So if they're
and
coming
Blake
in, I
Corum.
gotta check the other
If
frequencies.
there's anything where I was kind of comparing
Maybe I'll get Radio Reloj back
and how
on
things went.
790.
One of the more effective things Ben Johnson continued to do,
Radio
he
Reloj.
more consistently throughout the game decided not to abandon the Bears' rushing attack. And I don't know why, but Sean McVay, there were big stretches of the game, really the bulk of the first half, where the Rams just kind of decided not to run the football. Now, I like some things that the Bears did schematically. Dennis Allen, in addition to dialing up some of that blitz pressure that we referenced and that you heard from with Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Bears showed a good amount of five-man fronts, and it seemed that at times Matthew Stafford was checking out of some of the run plays and going to a passing attack against those five-man fronts. So I'd be curious just to kind of have a second viewing of the film at some point and get a better look at how that really ended up playing out. But that was my impression at times, where the Bears would use Tremaine Edmonds, move him out to the edge, show a five-man front.
Hello, me.
The Rams were throwing the ball with a lot more volume.
Hello, Mike
than I thought
B.
they would
Sorry,
against this Bears defense.
I got my-
Against the run a lot this season. But
I don't
one
have
of
my
the
glasses
best,
right now. Let me go get them.
Rated on a curve against that offense in this moment.
Mike B, I'm sorry.
Certainly one of perhaps the
Hello
best
from
defensive
Southwest
performances
Colorado.
from the Bears this season, and they saved it.
Hope you're doing
for
well,
this
my
guy to have
friend.
the game. Unfortunately, the team still came
Martin
up
Luther
short.
King Day now.
312-644-6767. Getting back out to the phone
So
line.
I'm just
John is
listening
at
to some
04.
DXing right now.
What's up, John? I'm
Of
Anthony
course, this
Herring
is
on the Post Show.
WSCR out of Chicago, Illinois on 6.
Real quick,
70.
I just wanted to say, I don't know if you watched the Bills.
And I just heard
Broncos game
Cuba a few
yesterday.
minutes ago.
Very similar situation
Mixing in
overtime.
there.
So
Radio
he elected
Rebelde, I
to
believe.
kick the ball. And
Definitely was
Ben Johnson
Cuban.
did the same thing tonight. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on this. My personal
Hello,
opinion that
1990
I said this when the
Summer,
toss happened. I'm like,
1990.
the Bears won that toss. I really
Hello, I
hope
hope
they
you're doing well,
kick
my
the
friend.
ball because of that whole matching scenario, which is what happened. We gave the Rams a second
Right
possession.
now, the
when that
score
pass
for
was done
Chicago is
tonight.
booming in
So
right now into
I
Yonkers,
just
New
wanted to
York.
bring that up, and that's
I'm going to listen to it for a little bit, and then I'll start tuning around
if you think that was
the AM band and see what's going on.
I
already heard Cube on 670, so definitely propagation seems to be
from the overtime
very good.
regular season to the postseason is that there will be no tie.
Propagation is good if the score's coming in and it's in the 60s right now.
The timing mechanism in place, there will still be quarters, but you're going to
It's in the 60s.
Sixth quarter. The game isn't going to end in a tie, but
So,
both teams will end up.
okay,
with a
you're doing good.
Everyone, when they win the
You're
coin
doing
toss
well
overtime,
in
the way
Eastern
things end up
Canada.
doing, saying is they want to be the second team with the ball to know what the first team did.
Stay
You have that
and
opportunity.
stay warm.
Yeah,
I know we're getting
matching the score, or
we're getting some
perhaps
snow right now, but it's wet snow. It's
that
nothing.
the initial team ends up getting. So you at least know what you're dealing with when you're the second team to get the football. So that's the preference all throughout the National Football League. When they made the adjustment where, back in my day, it was whoever scored first, kind of regardless, field goal, touchdown, whatever. Whoever put a point on the board was going to be the team that won the game. You didn't have a scenario where both teams would definitively get a possession in overtime. There was a playoff game that ended where Patrick Mahomes didn't get a chance at the football and folks were up in arms about it. So then I think it was the very next year when the NFL ended up adjusting the overtime rules.
All right.
I wasn't really a big...
Let me try another station.
You had 60 minutes to play defense. You get overtime to play
Let me try another
defense.
station. 680 is a mess. It's a whole bunch of frequencies. Normally I get WRKO out of Boston. And sometimes I get Toronto. So let me see. Well, that's definitely not Toronto. I hear music. That's not CFTR. Okay, definitely not there. Yeah, I know. CFTR is all news. I believe that's global news. It's definitely not that. I'm located in Yonkers, New York. Right outside New York City. Yeah, it's definitely music. Sounds like contemporary music. Wow. All right. Oh, wait a minute. And probably too early. And probably too early for this one. So I'll come back to it later. I'll come back to that later.
Actually, that's your name, or where you live, or what you do. You can sponsor 8 other people to vote with you, and you're the
WLW out of Cincinnati,
U.S. citizens,
Ohio.
They also have no ID whatsoever. Explain how the system is really irrelevant. This is why the country talks about rigged elections. Very much you know that. And this is such a problem, and that's exactly why we are working to pass a voting bill before the midterm. That the Republicans have no excuse. We have the House, we have the Senate, and we have the presidency. And now at first, they have not yet passed a voting bill that would secure our voting system. Only Americans who are able to show an ID card will be able to vote. And that's what we're working on. And the problem with Minnesota bill, that you mentioned, and not just in Minnesota, but this is happening in a lot of states across the nation, is the DX-286 ballot. When you are somebody who comes to this country and they take the actual word, you're a refugee,
Hello, James Farley.
we don't have any cards, you go to these refugees camps in Europe, then you either work with the State Department in the advent of the refugees in the United States, then you only decide what refugees come to Europe, not our State Department. And then the State Department works with non-federal corporations to deposit.
Wow, that sounds like Bridget Gabrielle.
And they work with 350.
Yeah, that sounds like Bridget Gabrielle. I think, wow, do they? WLW, do they replay WABC stuff? Yeah, that's Bridget Gabrielle. I heard her a few days ago on SIG. That's Bridget Gabrielle. I know her voice. Okay, here we go. That's Bridget Gabrielle. I heard that interview a few days ago on Sit in the Morning. So WLW is a WABC what they call it? Syndicate overnight, right? Because I heard this interview. Unless she's calling on the show. That's Bridget Gabrielle. I know her voice. In case you don't know who she is, she's a very attractive Lebanese woman. She is a conservative woman. She's a Christian, of course. But she is very attractive. Yes, she's very attractive. Lebanese, too. I know that voice. Believe me, I know that voice. I ain't gonna leave it at that. Yeah, oh my God. By the way, she does get very animated when she talks. I just love that woman's fire. She's a fiery woman.
That's why we want everybody involved, everybody engaged. Do not sit on the sideline and think, I'll vote on election day. A lot of things happen between now and election day. You have to be engaged and involved. We're asking about boards in your community. We are mobilizing and organizing communities nationwide. Sign up to get our action alerts because
there you go, that's her. Yep.
the number one
Call for Action Network. That's her.
to make sure we secure our voting
I
process.
told you, bro.
Brigitte Gabriel, Dearborn, Michigan. I'm watching a.
Oh, there you go. Oh, she's talking to somebody else.
2
Okay.
months ago, in which a Christian minister showed up to object to the fact.
Oh,
that
so she's calling Bill Cunningham.
And
Oh, so it's Bill Cunningham show. Never mind. Okay, good. Okay.
Awaken at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, Bridget Gabriel.
All the prayers happens 4 other times a day. The mayor of Dearborn, a Muslim fanatic, said to this white Christian minister, if you don't like it, you're going to move. And so, explain what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan. It's
has been electorally at the ballot box taken over by Muslim extremists and really getting rid. Dearborn, Michigan was almost founded by Henry Ford in order for his workers to have a place to live, middle-class values. What's happening in Dearborn, Michigan?
Well, ironically, the mayor in Dearborn, Michigan has association with Hezbollah. His family members are from southern Lebanon associated with Hezbollah. He is a Shiite Muslim from Lebanon. And this is why when this whole thing was going on, especially with the Israeli war, and all the Christians, ironically, the pastor that spoke, that you're referring to, also is the background of the Christian Lebanese. So during the war with Israel, when Israel was bombing Hezbollah, the Christians in Dearborn were rejoicing.
So there you go. So anyway, so she's talking to Bill Cunningham. Because I heard her a couple of days ago on Sid. So yeah, so there you go. So okay, so excuse me. Bridget Gabriel, oh my God. Or Brigitte Gabriel, whatever, Gabriel. Oh yeah. You gotta see a picture of this woman. She is fucking hot. For a 60-year-old woman, oh yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Sorry, folks, but yeah. I don't know why. I just have a thing about Lebanese women. I don't know. I just have a thing about Lebanese women. Seriously. My son's second grade teacher was Lebanese. I mean, she is Lebanese. And my God. Ay, Maron. I'll leave it at that.
And by the way, speaking of siphoning the money as well, Bill.
They just have a certain aura. You have no idea. Oh my God. Not that I will convert, but I may come close to converting. You still have someone like that? Oy. Let me shut up. I'm gonna get in trouble upstairs.
Or anybody within the Islamic world, the reason why they feel no guilt about stealing the
All right, moving on. Okay, Brigitte, gotta move on.
With the PSA in the hundreds.
Oh, she's on here too, on WGN. Oh boy.
Unbelievable stuff out for America, especially with a great person in North Carolina, the Tonga State, about fast-tracking licensing for foreign trained doctors from Syria, Gaza, Lebanon, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, and Mexico. And instead of focusing on American doctors of every description, North Carolina wants to fast-track doctors from Pakistan to come and treat residents of North Carolina. Well, we have to run, and we could spend all day with you, but give the American people once again the website and how they can get involved.
People can join us by going to askforamerica.org, Ask for America. Now, think about America, hope for America, or pray for America, but ask for America, because without action, we're going to lose our country. Go to askforamerica.org, click on join us, start the chapter, stand with us, volunteer, become interested today. We must win the midterm, we must save our country.
God bless America. You see, Gabriel, you're
All right, yeah. I'll volunteer with you, but something else though, but oh my God. Brigitte. Oh my God. Let me see what's on 7:30. All right, 7:40. Zoomer Radio. Forget about the copyright. I don't care about copyright no more. I'm done with that. There you go, Phil Collins. There you go. Oh! Zoomer Radio, Toronto. I love Zoomer Radio.
Zoomer Radio, the original greatest hit.
There you go. Yeah, I know. They have FM station also.
Well, I'd like to see my girl like a secret to a jewelry store. Gazing through the window only makes a bed I hate life for.
Coming in really nice today. I mean, yeah, it's as good as it's gonna get right now. With the Qodosen and the Texan AN200. I got the cable right here hooked up. I'm doing the cable. So I'm trying out different things. I'm liking the cable. I already heard Cuba tonight. I got Cuba at 670. I got Cuba tonight already. On 670, I got Cuba. That's rare. Only my third time I ever got that. Radio, 670, that's Rebelde, right? Rebelde. Anyway, I heard the Cuba announcer, and then I heard music. So I got Cuba on 670 already. And we're early. It's still early. For DXing. Oh boy, I might get a couple of new ones tonight. Maybe at least one. That's because of the weather. It's coming in nice right now. Chicago's coming in really good now, so that means it's good. It's good. Good for me to wait tonight. Need a tuning loop. Tuning loop helps. Lock it in there. I was in the 50s last night. was a little high, but it's in the 50s. That's awesome. Sounds almost local. When it's like that, it sounds almost local. Yeah, it's great. All right, take care, 1990 Sunbird. You have a great night too, and have a great week. And thank you for stopping by, my friend. Change it, but I want to hear this song now. And that is the way it used to be. Greatest decade in my lifetime. Today's music sucks. Sucks big time. Today's music really sucks. Can't compare that to today's music. Are you nuts? up the dial.
Hulu, every month, Adobe every month. Then pick your phone. On iPhone, go to settings, tap your name, and then subscriptions. And then you can see everything that you subscribe to, and then you can unsubscribe. Android does the same thing under the Google Play Store. Now, how do you go to the Google Direct? You're going to open any Amazon, Spotify, Adobe, Dropbox, and you want to check
WSB out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Amazon is notorious for this because Amazon, you want to watch a movie and then you can't get the Paramount Plus. So like, where did that go from? I already have 3 Paramount Plus subscriptions. Welcome to my world. Julie in Erie, Pennsylvania. Hi there, Julie. What's going on with you?
I have been dealing with a hacker since about 2018.
Okay, what's going on?
They're local. They're closest to home. When my husband was out of town, a man came up to me, asked if I knew the neighborhood. My neighbor came over, said not to talk to him. I thought it was just a neighborhood tip. And the next day, my cameras are taken out with a laser, and it looks like a white bird. I think someone's bird watching. Again happened. The cameras started having issues.
Are you turning inside or outside the house?
It was an IR camera on the outside of my front porch, and it was actually facing the side of my neighbor's house.
Okay.
And she's just getting a little bits and pieces about him, and she told me he bothers her off and on, and that he's a constable in the city of Erie. She moved to Mill Creek to get away from him. And she told me she was handling things. And she was sitting outside of my home in his car at night. We go to a place called Hello Dolly. We're coming home. I see a car parked 1 house away from me in the corner, and it was a 360. Then slowly but surely he starts following me. I work at a community center in 2 different locations, and he starts following me to do different work. And he even intersected me sometimes at different crossroads, and I said, oh, that's odd. So have you ever gone to the police? Oh, multiple times. I've gone to my local police at least 8-9 times. I've gone to the FBI 3 times. I've gone to the state police. My devices.
All right. I can't believe I heard Rebelde on 670. That's only the 3rd time I heard 670 all the way up here in Yonkers, New York. Because I heard Rebelde La Habana, la emisora de la revolución. When I heard that, I was like, that's what? The 3rd time ever I heard on 670, that's the 3rd time ever I heard it. It made it all the way up here in Yonkers on this radio. Well, on another radio, but this is the first time on this radio. And I was like, what? So that means conditions are not that bad right now. They're pretty good. 670 made it all the way up here from Havana, Cuba. So who knows? All right, let me go to 760. Oh, that's Detroit.
Good about the killing of her wife. If someone gets their information from NBC, NPR, the New York Times,
So WJR to Detroit, Michigan.
what's happening in Minneapolis, which may not be accurate.
We know it's not accurate. It may not be accurate. It's overwhelmingly dishonest.
Let me know now. I'm trying to know now WABC.
Driving this narrative, which is causing violence against people in Minneapolis. It's causing violence against our ICE agents who are going in to remove the most violent criminals that are inside of American communities, thanks to Joe Biden letting millions of them into the country. And the bottom line is that they've been bolstered by Democratic politicians like Tim Walz and the mayor of Minneapolis who continue to say that they're at war with the federal government. They won't allow local law enforcement to work with the federal government.
Yeah, Tim Walz a retard. There you go.
Aliens are inside of jails to transfer them peacefully and quietly and safely for foreign illegal immigrants, for the police, for the public. And they're completely ignoring the fact that our ICE agents are being attacked on the streets and making these insane arguments that they're not allowed to defend themselves against people ramming cars, hitting them with shovels, or other potentially lethal weapons. I mean, it's absolutely out of control. And besides that,
We're going to move on.
So much. I was embarrassed the way those people saw me crying. I was devastated. And I still haven't, people who can't afford it, not committed to see it, put them in jail for the trial. That's it. Allegedly firing on electronic series of possible changes. The governor's not saying no.
WBBM out of Chicago.
Super majority to vote House Committee Senate. News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
The state has rolled out what it describes as a multi-sector plan for age-related calls engaging Illinois. Planning officer Michelle First. It was a four necessary state livable connected communities. Important health for all ages, obviously that's critically important. Investing in caregivers and supporting ages. Those are considered four of the domains where when we look at our efforts, how could we pull them together in a meaningful way?
These aging and key emphasis in the plan, connection, and caregiving. Engaging Illinois is on the Illinois Department on Aging's website. At the Illinois Capitol. It's all News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Your top trending stories, sports, traffic, and weather, it's all coming up next. It's 42 minutes past the hour.
The 2026 election year is here. Illinois votes March 17th with critical midterm elections November 3rd. Election Central on WBBM News Radio is your trusted source for the politics that shape Chicago, Illinois, and your daily life. Listen every day for up-to-the-minute reporting. And Sundays get the full picture with our new email newsletter, Palmcast. A clear look back at the political development, plus analysis for political editor Jeff Buckle.
Says,
for the week ahead, sign up in the Odyssey app. Experienced and ready for 2026. That's WBBM News Radio Election Central.
Sorry.
Welcome back to Ask Capital. I'm Weston.
James Farley said, I'm using my son's first Sony AM/FM cassette recorder. It has amazing AM reception.
Come on, bud. I know better.
I assure you.
Are they picked up in the secret back room? Huh? Or waiting outside in the bushes? Sure.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, some of these Sony old radios are very good. I'm looking at a clock radio. I have it on my watch list for months. And it's like $9. And I think I'm going to buy it because it's a Sony from the 80s. So I can imagine it probably is a very good AM radio. You know, $8. It's a nice clock radio from the early 90s. $8. It's still on my watch list. Yes, these Sony made some great radios. So yeah. So so I James Harley, I can completely null out the wow, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
This could be the moment you've been waiting for. New teeth, new smile, new you. Visit almostfreeteeth.com today because confidence should never cost
I can hear a little bit on this one.
If you want the greatest
I can hear a little slop.
I mean your best night ever.
I got it down to 3 kilohertz.
There's a new EG
3 kilohertz bandwidth. But you can hear a little slop from WABC.
Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in only 11 minutes and lasts up to 14 hours. Thanks to its new vasodynamic delivery system. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. There has never been any ED pill like it. It's unreal what it does to you. In testing, Viagra AGV crushed every other ED pill. It destroyed them all. And now, 9 out of 10 urologists are recommending Viagra AGV over any other ED pill. Every man alive needs to try this new Viagra AGV super pill at least once. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss it. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. That's scoreblue.com.
Top trending stories on WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Bruce Springsteen is announcing the Trump administration's deployment of ICE officers in cities across the U.S., even dedicating a song to remake good the woman recently killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis at a surprise performance in New Jersey over the weekend. The New York Times reports Springsteen told the crowd at the Light of Day Winterfest, quote, "We're living through incredibly critical times." And Julio Iglesias has denied allegations of sexual assault made by two former employees. Media reports likely similar assault to the women at homes in the Dominican Republic and Bahamas in 2021. And as prosecutors have at 46 minutes past the hour, time to check in on sports. The spring season has unfortunately come to an end for the Bears. The Rams kicked a field goal in overtime to defeat the Bears 20-17 in that divisional playoff matchup. That was after Caleb Williams threw a touchdown pass before connecting the final seconds of regulation, sending the game into overtime. The Bears head coach Stephen Johnson.
About that fourth innings from last week.
Yeah, this is a good night.
How clean that was.
Everything's coming in pretty good now.
Caleb Williams said afterwards the Bears...
Yeah, James, everything's coming in pretty good. I'm loving it.
Some minor contacts and things like that. We got a good score the organization's done a good job of building. And so,
I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna milk it. We're gonna be up for a couple of hours. Another video on the vaults. In other NFL playoff news, the Patriots defeated the DX-286 New England headed to Denver to beat the Broncos next week. After Denver lost quarterback Brady the rest of the season after breaking his ankle during an overtime against the Bills. In basketball, the Chicago Bulls defeated the Brooklyn Nets. Right now, I'm liking this one better.
In sad news, former White Sox pitcher Will
the knob is over here on this side. The Turk is kind of right here, the knob, and it's kind of annoying. And I said it yesterday. I favor this one better. The Turk is more... The Turk, you really have to slow down on the tuning. This one, you can really fine-tune better. I noticed that. The Turk is kind of a pain to tune. It's like a narrow, it's like the capacitor is very narrow. So if you go like that, you already went through. And this one is more, there you go, exactly. This one has more range. Exactly, there you go. That's what I meant to say. The Turk is very limited. It works, but I think it's very limited compared to this one. You know, I just feel more comfortable with this one.
goals are building.
All right, there you go. CKLW.
At Libra Credit Union,
Where's Ontario?
take the time to understand exactly that. What matters. And
Hey,
help you
cheers.
make clear, confident financial decisions that support it. Whether
CKLW.
you're getting started or taking a new step, we're here to help you grow the future that's important to you. Visit Libra.ca/invest or your local branch. Libra Credit Union. Grow what matters.
And now forecast from the AM 100 Weather Center. Some light snow expected overnight. Windy with the temperature steady near -8. Feeling like near -18.0 Fahrenheit. For your Monday ahead, periods of light snow ending near noon, then mainly cloudy with scattered flurries. Temperature steady near -9 with the wind chill -20 or -4 Fahrenheit. Windy as well. Cloudy periods Monday evening with a 30% chance of flurries and a low of -16. That's 3 Fahrenheit.
This is the best of John Moore on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
Sitting in for John Moore, here's John Tory. And welcome in, President. How are you doing?
I am great. Great to be with you, John.
So, we were talking the other day, in fact, we played a clip of Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, saying the whole notion of sexualizing images was something that he was talking about and getting taken action. He said, and I think you might explain this, first of all, because I know it's very kind of now, exactly what...
James Harley, I never gotten any West Coast to Coast. I never got any West Coast AM station. No, the further, for me, the most furthermost station I ever picked up on Mediumwave was with my RTO SDR with the up converter. I got WBOZ out of Montana. That's the most West Coast I got in Montana. And I was like, never got it again. One time. That's it. One time. I had to go through website searches and all that. And they were playing Red Eye Radio. So I had to go to the directory. I had to go to the Red Eye Radio website and put that frequency on. Yeah, I think it was about 15. I forgot the frequency. It's in the 1500s. I forgot what the hell it was. Anyway, somebody can look it up. WBOZ. And it was Red Eye Radio. And I got a match. It was very low. I barely could hear it. That's it. Never got nothing out. Iowa. That's as far west I can go. Iowa. 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 That's it. And in Texas, San Antonio, WOAI. That's it. I still haven't got Mexico to this day. No Mexico. The Caribbean, of course, Cuba. I got by the way, I got Puerto Rico once. I forgot what frequency it was. I did get Puerto Rico also. But for the out west, Montana. That's I never got of course, KOA out of Denver. I never got that one. I tried many times. Never got that. So KOA out of Denver. Nope. Because on 850, I usually get something else sometimes. So, but we're gonna try tonight. So I'm gonna move on right now. 810. That's WGY. So that's Albany. I'm not even gonna bother with that. 820 is of course WNYC. I'm not gonna bother with that. Let's try 830.
And once again, here's like the Rams of business.
Of course, this is WHAS out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Seattle, and also one involving, I think, New England and Denver. We'll see what happens with that. But I want to thank all my guests for coming on, especially Bridget Gabriel and David Pavlich.
So, of course, Bill Cunningham again.
A couple hours ago. He spoke about his side as Mark Venture. I can't imagine more.
So, Bill Cunningham, he's sent very now. Of course, he's syndicated. He's another, he's conservative radio host. So you just heard him right here. He was just talking to Bridget. So that's another Bill Cunningham show right here.
Anything having to do with federal immigration should apply in Minneapolis or somewhere else. And now you have social activists like Don Lemon, formerly of CNN, marching into Christian churches, disrupting and eliminating the services. They thought one of the pastors there might have been employed by ICE. That gave them the right, the opportunity to go in and disrupt Christian services en masse. We have chaos everywhere I look. Absolute, complete chaos, occasioned by a political party who doesn't want the law to apply to them. We've had that before. We've had it in the pre-Civil War era, in which Democrats did not want federal laws about blacks to apply to them. We had it in the Civil Rights Movement, in which at that point, Democrats did not want federal law to apply to public schools after Brown v. Board of Education. And now today, we have from New York City to Los Angeles, from Seattle, Washington to Austin, Texas, to Orlando, Florida, Democrats are announcing loud and proud, federal law doesn't apply here. Abolish ICE, abolish the police, abolish law and order, we're in charge. Is that the kind of world in which we should live? The next few weeks are going to be critical, and I pray to God that his hand will fall upon this great nation, and those who are committing evil will be dispatched, and those of us who believe in the rule of law shall win. Thanks for listening. Bill Cunningham, the great American, with you every day. Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63, out of nowhere, stroke. It's hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, my wife, and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes for your family protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Ready to feel healthy this year? Find everything you need at loseweightnow.co. Orderly Meds gives you access to proven GLP-1 medications at a lower cost, backed by real medical professionals. And yes, they ship in discreet, private packaging because it's nobody's business how you're improving yourself. And your journey deserves dignity, privacy, and confidence. Get started today at loseweightnow.co. Individual results may vary. Visit loseweightnow.co and get started today. That's loseweightnow.co.
Want to know what most advisors hate talking about? The fees they're going to charge you to manage your money. Not so with Tony Walker Financial. In fact, we are so confident in our services that we now have a posted video on our website called How We Get Paid. So before blindly handing over your money to just any advisor who won't tell you how they get paid, check out our video at TonyWalkerFinancial.com or give us a call anytime at 877-499-9255.
Check in for updates all day with News Radio 840 WHAS.
There you go. Louisville, Kentucky. Let me see what's on 850.
Enceinte de 6 mois et élu contre toute attente lors d'une partielle en 2017 dans Louis Hébert, cela a été l'élément déclencheur du raz-de-marée caquiste aux élections générales de 2018.
Mes bébés ont eu 6 et 8 ans. J'ai souvent dit que j'ai pas peur de grand-chose dans la vie, mais j'ai peur du regret.
Geneviève Guilbeault soutient avoir pris la décision de ne pas se représenter depuis
Ça
longtemps.
n'a rien à voir avec l'actualité. Rien à voir avec l'annonce du premier ministre cette semaine.
Elle a brillé à titre de vice-première ministre pendant la pandémie notamment.
All right, there you go.
Mais a aussi connu des moments difficiles. D'abord avec les volte-face concernant le 3e
that was a long time ago. That was
et lors
like
de son passage à la commission Galland portant sur le scandale
8 years ago.
Néanmoins, son travail est salué par ses collègues, les députés Shirley de Rismond et Samuel Poulin.
Madame Guilbeault, c'est une amie. On n'en voit pas beaucoup comme ça. Elle a un talent exceptionnel.
C'est extrêmement exigeant et elle a donné beaucoup pour le Québec.
Bien avant l'annonce du départ de François Legault, le nom de Geneviève Guilbeault circulait pour prendre les commandes de la CAQ. Mais la politicienne de 43 ans en a décidé autrement en quittant elle aussi le navire. Ici Pierre-Alexandre de Radio-Canada à Québec.
Et puis on discute de ce futur départ avec Véronique Prince à Québec. Véronique, Geneviève Guilbeault a confié qu'elle n'écarte pas un retour en politique, mais que les conditions actuelles ne la favorisent pas.
Oui, et puis voyez-vous, dans une tournée d'appel la semaine dernière, il y a plusieurs députés qui me confiaient qu'elle aurait été une excellente candidate il y a quelques années, mais que le fiasco de sa clique l'a brûlée. Surtout avec les avis défavorables que des membres de son cabinet ont reçus et qui laissent croire que le rapport de la commission de Galland, celui qu'il va publier dans 1 mois, ne l'avantagera pas. Sa porte de sortie pour justifier sa décision, des raisons familiales, est tout à fait louable. En fait, c'est la seule femme qui a d'aussi jeunes enfants.
All right, let me lower it down. Yeah, I know Glenn Dancer came on and he chimed in about about Jill's, and I was like, I just got off the subject about that. But you know, I don't have anything against the guy. He's going through a lot. You know, the only thing that really got under my skin was when I went in there, which was the last time that I went in there. And I just mentioned that I had a couple of new countries from FTA. And he does a lot of FTA. When he says, he talks about, oh, I single sideband. When you go to his QRZ, it's a lot of FTA. It's like 90% of his contacts is FTA. You know? So that's what really irks me. Like, you're being a hypocrite. 90% of your contacts are FTA. And that's okay because 90% of my contacts are FTA. And by the way, there's a lot of ham radio operators out there that 90% of the contacts is FTA because FTA is the dominant mode now. Okay, it is. I'm gonna go on a soapbox right now. So sorry, people. If you don't understand it, well, I'm sorry. But ham radio, if you go to a lot of people's ham radio account, QRZ account, excuse me, and you look at their stats, a lot of it is FTA contacts. Okay. You know, you might have a couple of Neanderthals, knuckle draggers. Oh, I'm still doing it. Single sideband. Everything. All my contacts is single sideband. No. 90% is FT8. Okay? Including him. So when I mentioned that, and I mentioned that I got a new country, and by the way, this country is a very small country. It's like a sliver in the map in Saudi Arabia. It's another little small, it's not Yemen. It's what it was. Burundi, whatever, Burundi. It's a tiny little sliver of a country that's right on Saudi Arabia. So right away he poo-poos me. So what that tells you? That either one, you're jealous, or no, Yeah, I'm gonna say there's no or. You're jealous. You know? And I was like, normally, oh wow, great cut. In the past, it was like, oh my God, great catch, new country, high five. No. I'm bored with FT8. I prefer single sideband. And then everybody chimes in about it. He has his minions, his, suck ass, ass kissers. And they all, yeah, I'm a single sideband. I don't like FT8. The Neanderthals. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just came back here because I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be in that chat no more because it's toxic. Because right now, he sucks. I'm gonna say it. Lately, I guess he's been sucking Blogger Die's dick. There you go. Blogger Die, he has a blog, whatever the fuck it is, a stupid blog. He talks about radio. Oh, yeah, no, that's another one. Jasmine is another fucking annoying cunt. A stupid fucking, first it was the, oh my God, the Malahit is the greatest radio ever. No, it's not. It's a piece of fucking shit. Stupid. And then now she's all about Meshtastic. Mesh Network. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And the problem is that he lets a couple of people dictate the whole fucking chat. But I know why he did it with me. Because I saw it. I'm gonna talk about it tonight because Glenn Dassler, he just kind of like poked me one more time, with the Canadian, because people do suck up to him. They suck up to him because especially the Blog or Die guy, he wants clout. That's all it is. He wants clout. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell everybody here that watching right now, I'm gonna tell you from day one when I started this channel. I built a social media around me. You know why? Because I don't depend on nobody. Remember that, folks. Even though he shouted me out, I appreciate that he shouted me out when I had 100 subs. I mean, before I hit 100 subs, he did shout me out on that. He threw a little bone at me. But then after that, once I got to about 1,000 or so, I noticed his demeanor to me. It changed. Because I had a whole network around me. I built my network. I got Discord. I got freaking Reddit. I got 700 people on Reddit. I got 800 people on Facebook. I got 5,000 people on X. I got 7,000 people on Instagram. I got 21,000 people on TikTok. No, don't be surprised by that. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why right now. I'm going to tell you why. I got 4,000 on Blue Sky. A lefty social media network. I got 4,000 in there already. Okay? 4,000. I'm not blowing smoke up. I'm not talking shit. Yeah, you know what? I am talking shit. You know why? That's what bothers him. No, Tyler Bird's been coming to my channel. He's been on my live streams a few times already. Many times, actually, like what it was, a bunch of times. And you know what? I love him for that. You know why? Because he's humble. He remembers me. I love Tyler Bird. You think this guy ever came to my life? He never came to my... Tyler Bird been in my live stream I think 5 or 6 times already. This guy never been on my live stream once. Once. I'm talking about the other guy, the Canadian. Never been there once in my live stream. Not once. Okay? Even though he said to me in the chat a couple of times, oh, I'm going to stop by your live stream one day. He never been on my live stream at all. Not once. Not once. Okay? You see the difference? Coastal Wave and Wires. He's a subscriber to my channel. He's a subscriber to my channel. Walt K4OGO. He's been here a few times. Tyler Bird's been here a few times. Tom Styles. You know, TRSS, Tampa, Florida. He's been here a few times. He's a stand-up guy. Me and him, we spoke on the phone, actually. I know Tom for a long time. The only person that's never been in here is guess who? Guess who? Who's never been in here before? Who's never been in any of my live streams? Guess who? You see what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I say this guy, something's going on with this guy. This guy, Oxford Shortwave's been in here for a few times. A couple of times. Clint, Oxford Shortwave. And we good friends. We all good friends. Oxford Shortwave been here a couple of times. And he doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't be at any live stream. He came to my live stream twice at least already. And I had others. But the one guy that said he's gonna be here, he never. You see what I'm saying? The one guy that said, and by the way, none of them said they were gonna be here. They just showed up. They said, hey, what's up, Danny? And I thought, oh shit, what's up? You know, the one guy that said, oh, I'm gonna be there, never showed up. All right? I'm just telling you like it is. Yeah, James Farley. Yes, you're right. He never been. Never. I'm approaching 350 live streams now. Okay, 350 live streams. That's why, I was really worried about his stress. So I went there one more time. I went to another stream one more time. By the third week, when I brung that thing up about the FTA, he blew me off like, whatever, like, fuck you. That's what he did to me. He said, fuck you, whatever. And then, of course, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to be here again. And you know what? That's fine, bro. I value loyalty, bro. I subscribed to his channel when he was at 1,000. He was at 1,000 subs. And I subscribed to his channel. And that live stream was, we're talking about 20 people watching, 50 people watching when it peaked. I was there. I was there in the beginning. You understand? I was an early mod. There was only a handful of mods. I'm one of the oldest mods there. You feel me? So for him to treat me the way he treated me later on is a total disrespect. But I know what it is. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. There's no other way to put it. When he started, blowing up smoke, he started blowing smoke on my ass. Oh, I don't know how you could do it. Oh my God, you do so many live streams. I don't know how you could do it. It's nothing. This is nothing for me, bro. This is nothing for me. I could do live streams like fucking 3 times a day. 3 times a day, every fucking day if I could. I just choose not to because I don't get no fucking donations. That's why I don't fucking do it. If I was getting, if people were blessing me, I'd fucking live stream every fucking day, 3 or 4 times a day. Because you know what? Now I can sit back and let it roll. Because I play music and all this shit. I could care less about copyright. If I got members, I could care less about copyright. You see what I'm saying? Because YouTube, this live stream is dead. Monetization is dead because I played a bunch of music already. That's something he would never do. That's something a lot of people won't do. They will not play music. I know the fucking system. I know the game already. I know the YouTube shit. Have you noticed that I haven't been protesting the YouTube live streams? When they demonetize me, I don't challenge them no more. You know what they've been doing? They've been rewarding me with views. So you know what? Just like this one. This one, I'm not gonna get no monetization, but I'm gonna get views. And it's little effort. This is nothing, bro. This is nothing. But yeah, seriously. When Glenn brought it up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it one more time, and I'm done. But that's the truth. The truth is that the guy, he's threatened. He's threatened by me. I don't know why, because you know what? I'm not going after no crown. I even renamed my channel not to be shortwave. I renamed my channel not to be shortwave because I don't want to do shortwave no more. Of course, I'll bring it up every so often or whatever, and I'll tune the bands when the bands are good to tune. But I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't want to be a one-band thing. And thank you, James Farley, for being a member. Nice. So now you're my 5th member. And thank you. But yeah, listen, Tyler Bird was here last night. Almost 2 hours. We were having fun. You see what I'm saying? They're not threatened by me. It's only this guy. This guy, I don't know, for some reason, I guess he thinks I'm going to steal his fucking income. I'm going to steal his cat fund, his pizza fund, whatever the fuck fund he fucking, whips out the fucking tin cup for. And people blindly fucking, give him. And that's the shit that pissed me off, I fucking stream like, I can stream like I said, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, fucking every day, I'm not fucking coming out here with a tin cup, I expect something. That's all. And that's the only thing that irks me is that people just blindly fucking give him shit when he just, same old bullshit every fucking day. It's the same shit. Yeah, I fucking work. Exactly. I do work. You come with the same fucking format. Tune a couple of fucking showwave band. Then by the second hour, he's reminiscing about, his fucking little, whatever the fuck. By the third hour, it's all about, I don't know. It's the same fucking format every fucking Saturday. You think I didn't catch on to that shit? Come on, bro. Fucking get out of here. Fucking nostalgic shit every fucking week. I'm afraid to talk about politics. Meanwhile, you demonize everybody on Facebook. You demonize me on Facebook. Because I voted for, my man Trump. But you don't talk about it on your live stream because you know what? Get the fuck out of here. That's why I got tired of his fucking ass. I try to reach out to him, and you know what? Now at this point, I don't give a fuck. Fuck him now. I'm done. There you go. Fuck him.
This week did play Sunday as the Grizzlies.
I tried, bro. I tried to be nice. I honestly, I was very concerned about him. But, I mean, seriously, you have a channel that has, let me just go on one more thing here. You have a tech channel that has over 100,000, what is it? I don't know, fucking know. He's way over 100,000. You have a shortwave channel that has over 50,000. Even me, I try to help him. I remember a long time ago, I told him, you should put your PayPal on your page. Simple thing like, you should put your PayPal link on your page. The guy he don't listen to nobody. He doesn't listen to nobody. I even tried to help him out years ago. I told him, you should put your PayPal on your, nothing. Nothing. That's why I say, you know what? I guess, he thought that I was just going to be another fucking, one of his little fucking followers and shit, And I'm going to call out a couple of people here. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm not going to do that. But I noticed he did use a couple of people that I know of. One, he's still stuck at 100 subs. The man has a channel for many years and he's still stuck at 100 subs. You would think he will help him out. And he's donated mad money to him. You could take a guess of who he is. I'm not going to say his name. Because you know what? I'm not going to say his name because you know what? I like the guy. He's a nice guy. But he used them. He was one of the early mods. He was a mod before me. But he used them. Because that guy used to promote his channel a lot. He used to put his link everywhere. And he still does. I'm sure he still does. But he promoted his channel on every freaking wherever he could post, this guy posted it. Because he did it for me. Without asking. When I was, and I told him, no, don't do that, don't do that. He would tell me, Danny, you want me to post you? No. And I said, no, don't do that. He would go out and post his link everywhere. So he helped them blow up. Okay? And this guy is still stuck at 100 subs. People don't know that. I'm dropping bits here, bro. And he's donated money to him many times. When I analyzed it, he was call out his name every week. Oh, so and so, send me PayPal. So the guy was giving him money, and he blew up his channel. You would think he would return him the favor and blow up his channel, or help him blow up his channel. Nope. You see what I'm saying? So this guy, he's in it for himself. That's it. That's when I realized, I said, yo, this guy is just fucking in it for himself. You know? And, yeah, he may blow smoke up people's ass about, oh, I love you and all this shit. And whatever. The guy really, he's in it for himself. That's it. Yep. I'm being honest, so. Yeah, you know him. You know the guy. He's a mod. He's a mod on his channel. He's probably the longest running mod. That's a big hint right there. He's the longest running mod. I think he was the first mod in that channel. It was him. There was a couple of other people. Then I came along. I was like I wasn't far behind. I was like, you know, what it was. I was like, it was early. It was early. I'm not gonna confirm that. But yeah, I mean, he pretty much, you know, and he would donate to me too. You know, when he was on my channel, I made him a mod right away. And then a couple of times he donated. He would send me PayPal. He would send me $20, $20. A few times he sent me $20. And I was like, man, this guy is like really generous and all that. You know? But he always sent them every week. He would send them something. You know? That's why I know he used them. And the guy is still stuck at 100-something subs. And I was like, why this guy doesn't help this kid out? I said, this kid always, he always posts his link wherever he's at. You know? This guy was on Discord before anybody else was on Discord. Even before me. This guy. I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want him to, I don't want him, I don't want to put him in a tough spot. But yeah, I'm gonna just go wink, wink. So that's confirmed. Wink, wink. There you go. But yeah, I feel bad because I was like, this fucking guy using this guy. He's using this kid. He's using this kid because he's a kid. To me, he's a kid. He's young. He's a young kid. When I mean by young kid, he's a young man. And he has a couple of disabilities. So the fact that he has disabilities now means that he probably sending him disability money or fixed income money. You see what I'm saying? So he's not working. This kid's not working. I know this kid's not working. And that shit fucking irks me that this guy is just fucking using people. But, I'm talking to you right now at whatever time in the morning. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody going to listen to me. They're going to think that I'm the one that's jealous of him. And I'm not jealous of him. I'm not, believe me, I'm not jealous. Because I got my own thing. I got my own shtick. My delivery is more of a show. I'm like a radio show. And I talk about any topic. Any topic. So when Glenn Dancer said, yeah, I know they all suck up to him. Yeah, they all suck up to him because, you know what? They're afraid. Now they suck up to him because they're just afraid. They're afraid that, whatever, they're all just afraid. Some of them are afraid, they don't want to, oh my God, whatever. That's all right. You know what? Because I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm at 5,600. I'm going to keep grinding. One day I will hit 10,000. And then one day after that, I will exponentially grow. That's it. Right now, I'm just getting started, folks. Believe me, I'm getting started. I was going earlier today. I was just studying for my general. I'm gonna get my general. Fuck around. I'm gonna be talking at 20 meters, 40 meters, and all that shit one day in the future. I'm gonna be doing a lot of single sideband. I'm gonna be doing all this other shit. Something the man never does. He never does any of that shit. Any fucking any baboon can tune the bands for a few minutes here and there. The difference between me and him, I'm not a fucking baboon. I'm diversified. Just like I'm doing right now, Mediumwave DXing. You seen live stream where I did FM DXing. You seen live stream where I tuned the shortwave band. You seen live stream where I fucking make contacts on a single sideband. I have done single sideband contacts on live streams. You see what I'm saying? I'm all over the place, bro. But people don't recognize that. That's fine. That's on them. And, other stuff. So, you know what? That's fine. That's why, I'm going to talk about it now because after this, I don't want to talk about him no more. I'm done with him. Whatever. I don't hate the guy. I actually feel sorry for him, to be honest, at this point. Because you would think at this point that you have, 50,000 subs and you have 100,000 subs on your tech channel. You think you would be content with that. But no, you're not, because you're fucking greedy. You see what I'm saying? It comes down with that. It comes down to that. I know where he started. I remember when he started. I remember when he was at 1,000 subs on his shortwave channel. And his tech channel, I believe at that time it was about 3,000 subs. You see what I'm saying? And now he's gotten to this point, and now he just fucking head is inflated. That's it. He's not the only one. There's a lot of YouTubers out there. When they get to a certain number, like somebody got over 20,000. Now he's at 30,000 now. I noticed his head got inflated. That's why there's only a few people out here that I respect. I respect Tom. I'm going to tell you the people that I truly respect because they've been on my live stream, even though they're way bigger than me. Number one, I respect Tyler Bird. You know, you know how big he is. He's way over. I think he's at 50,000 now. He's 40-something thousand. He's been here a few times. Tom Styles. He actually gave advice to him about live streaming. He was the one that kind of pushed him to do live streaming. So if it wasn't for Tom, he probably wouldn't be where he's at now. So Tom's been here many times. I give props to Tom. And then Oxford. Oxford's another one. I think he's over 10,000 now, something like that. 10,000 something. I forgot what he's at now. That's another person that he always been there for me from day one. And Mediumwave DXing also. Mediumwave DXing from day one. And of course, everybody that comes in the chat, you know, Michael TV in 1972, Keegan DX and all that. But in terms of the big channels, Tyler Bird, Tom, and Oxford, Clint. Those are the big ones. And Walt. Walt's been here a few times. K4OGO, Coastal Waves and Wires. He's been on my chat a few times. Other than that, that's it. You know? So, you know, believe me, they recognize when they've been here, they say, you know, they're like, come on, bro. You know, they know. They know is how you say it? They know I got talent. That's it. You know? You know, so that's why when the guy says, oh, I'm going to be in your live stream, he says it in his live stream too. Oh, I'm going to go on your live stream. And he never, so he, you know, if I go find a video of him saying it and I put that clip and, you know, play it, oh, I'm going to go on your live stream. He never set foot on my live stream. You know, that tells you, that says it all right there. And then, by the way, there's some people that go on this. By the way, there's some people that used to come on my live stream. They don't come on no more as often because they're afraid of him. So if you notice that too, that there's not a lot of regulars I used to have. Keep that in mind too. That some of the regulars I used to have, they're afraid of him. So they're going on his live. Okay, and I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to put them on the spot. But I know who they are. You know, I know who they are. Because I don't see them on my live stream as often. But they be on his live stream every week. So they don't want to ruffle his feathers. But that's okay, you know. And by the way, a few of them, I try to help them out with their channel. Monetize their channel, blow up their channel. And you know, it's okay, bro. It's okay. Listen, this business, this YouTube business is hard, bro. It's hard. It's hard as a grind. But I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. My goal is to get 10K subs. It's going to happen. It's going to happen within the next 2 or 3 years. It's going to happen. 1 million subs is going to happen by next year. I mean, 1 million views is going to happen next year. I'm at 830. I'll get 1 million views by next year. Those are my two little goals right now. And then after that, you can take off like a rocket. Because I'm doing a whole bunch of shit now. I'm driven now, bro. I'm driven. You know, one thing they don't know about me is when you disrespect me, when people disrespect me, I double down, bro. I double down. So, there you go. All right, now I went off on this tangent. Now I'm done. I'm not going to talk about this guy no more. I'm done. Just like I try to help the little shithead over here. You know, try to bless him with a little knowledge. But people don't understand that. This is, by the way, in real life, I have people like this in real life. Where I bless them. And they wind up, you know, getting a nice job. A nice, you know, good paying job. And you think they would thank me? No. You know, that's life, bro. You know, but I'm not going to stop being who I am, you know. I'm going to keep elevating people. That's fine. People don't want to elevate me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I don't care. I hope I addressed that issue. I'm done with that issue. You know? That's why I told him today. I said, don't bring him up no more. I don't want to hear about him, his chat, whatever. I don't give a fuck about him no more. I'm done with him. You know, like frenemy, you know, they call them frenemies, right? Frenemies, right? They're your friends, but behind your back, they envy you. You know? I don't know why he envies me. He got 10 times, the subs that he got. 10 times the views that I got. I don't know why you threatened by me, bro. I don't know why. Is it because I'm fucking brash? Because I'm going to say one more thing about it. I'm going to end it at this. When he started his channel, you know why I liked it about him? That he was brash. Remember how he was in the beginning? He was brash. And he would go on his rants. I liked that about him. But he changed. He became a pussy. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna call him out. I don't care. He became a pussy. He became more like, you know, trying to be all, you know, corporate, whatever. I don't know, fucking corporate or whatever, PC. And that's why he doesn't like me. You know? I learned from him. I'm not going to lie to you. I learned from him. I liked his style, his delivery, and all this shit. I learned from him. So when I became, you know, whatever too, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do my live stream. People don't like it. I'm gonna start booting a whole bunch of people, and that's what I've been doing. Because people are not watching me because of my looks. And I don't know. They ain't changed on me. Overnight, he changed on me. Got really distant toward me and, you know, whatever. And that's fine. You know what? That's fine. But I'm not going to be like the other guy making videos of your channel. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to talk about it here and that's it. Unlike the guy from Finland, where he will like make parody videos of him and all that shit. I'm not going to do all that shit. Because I don't got time for that, bro. There's no beef between me and him. I just don't care. Plain and simple. So it's not even a beef. I just don't care. When there's a beef, it's because you care. So me, I don't care. I'm done with that. And anybody in this channel feels like they need to be loyal to him and not and remove me, unsubscribe me, go ahead. I don't care. You know, I don't care. Because I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need no fake people around me. I don't need that shit. You know? They know who they are. Because I see them every Saturday there. Don't think I don't go over there. I lurked a couple of times and I see them all there. And they're not on my channel no more. They used to be on my channel. But now they just go to his channel and they don't come to my channel because I guess they're fucking scared to come here now. And that's fine, bro. You know the good thing about YouTube? A lot of channels grow. Including my channel. My channel's still growing. So if you're not here, guess what? Somebody else is going to replace you. Eventually. In the chat. There you go. You see my philosophy? So you're only hurting yourself, bro. For you disloyal people out there. You know, especially the ones that I try to blow up their channel. You know, no fucking gratitude toward me. They know who they are.
Recurrent cancer. And they've had surgery, they've had chemo, and they've had radiation.
All right, there, here we go. Now let's see what that is. Right there, here we go. 990. What the hell's that? 990. Oh, that's not Philly though, because I know Philly. That's not talk radio. Obviously.
better place for them. Warming up their field, they're compassionate, they're empathetic to your situation, and I promise you, I will get you more money than any other law firm in the city of Chicago. That is my promise to you. Hire us, win with us, be successful with us. Call Walner Law, 312-8-million.
Hey, it's your pal Tom Waddle. Winter in Chicago, yeah. It's no joke. If your windows are drafty or your doors are ready in that cold wind, it's time to call the good folks at Window Works. They've got custom windows and doors that not only look great, but help keep the warm air in and your energy bills down. Right now, buy one window, get one free.
Yeah, $9.90. If it's talk, I usually get the answer. I think that's in Philly. But the music one, I have no idea what that is.
Make your game day a winner with Aurelio Pizza, Chicago's oldest pizza chain since 1959. This is Joe Aurelio inviting you to indulge.
Battery's low on this one, so
Signature sauce, 100% real mozzarella.
once that one goes dead, I'm gonna put this one.
Like our fresh ground Italian sauce. Dine in, carry out, or have it delivered. Visit AurelioPizza.com for the location nearest you. Download the Aurelio's app and start earning rewards today. Aurelio Pizza. It's the sauce.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality.
It's coming in pretty good. WMVP out of Chicago.
It's a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294.
No 1010 wings bleeding over.
We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction.
Nice.
We provide fast, free pickup with 24 hours fun. Call 1-800-294. 0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars RS and Find the Children.
Okay, continues now. The home of the Chicago Bears. ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Mellis, and Matt the Designer.
I don't believe this team. Bear down Chicago Bears.
Indeed. In the moment, we were all in Lake Perico as the Bears forced overtime. Unfortunately, just could not finish the job off, but don't let it take away from a fantastic season in Ben Johnson's rookie year as Bears head coach, Caleb Williams' second season as quarterback, and one that has been clarified for many people. The franchise quarterback from Connecticut. Do watch for those slippery spots. Otherwise, it's going to be partly to mostly cloudy, going down to 25. Later today, MLK Day, breezy, cold, despite some sun much of the time, and a high of 36. Monday night, mainly clear, blustery, much colder, low of 18. AccuWeather real feels, however, will be near 0. And on Tuesday, breezy, very cold with sunshine, and a high of only 25. AccuWeather real feels once again in the single digits. Wednesday, not as cold with increasing clouds and a high of 34. Midtown right now, it is 32 degrees and cloudy. The humidity at 91%, and the, that's what it is, 91%. The wind out of northwest at 8 miles per hour. Okay, now let's tell you about the Super Bowl. It's going to be, of course, a big day coming up next month, and what we have for you here, let me just get this up on the screen for you.
And by the way, who does the Super Bowl every year so far? This guy. You know, I do events, bro. He's not only radio stuff. You know me, bro. Everybody that watches this channel, I like to do Super Bowl stuff. I have fun with that, by the way. New Year's Eve, I had a blast doing that. You know, I try to entertain people. And when I say try, I don't try. You understand? This is who I am. So this is not somebody that's pretending to be somebody. It's who I am. You know, if you knew me in real life, I'm the same person. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you would have lived across the street from me and you were to come over my house, this is who I am. You know? And that's why that's what I bring to this channel. You know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, you could be on the phone with me and I'll talk to you. That's it. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. That's it. But, you know, there's a lot of that bullshit out there. There's a lot of, you know, let me tell you something. There's a lot of channels out there that want to separate you from your money. And I'll leave it at that. Because believe me, all the top channels, like radio channels, you know, do you want me to start naming them? You want me to start naming them? Because I'll start naming them. And I don't want to name them. Because if you don't have no clue who they are, then you stupid. They're all up there. They're all up there. The one with the ham radio, you know, whatever name. You know, the one with the OM one. The one with the shed. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm giving you hints, right? They're all commercial now. They're all commercial. They all started like me. Now they're all commercial. They all companies showering them with so much shit. That's it. They became pitchmen. The other one with the farm bullshit. All of a sudden, he's a radio expert now. You see what I'm saying? You feel me, people? They're all pitchmen now. So when you look for radio content, all those people that you get, all YouTube recommends you is salespeople. Is people trying to sell you shit, radio shit. That's it. Maybe they'll sprinkle a little fucking nugget. And it's not even a nugget. It's common knowledge about a lot of shit. Ain't nobody here at 2 a.m. fucking DXing like this. Okay? Nobody. No one of all of YouTube land is doing this shit right now. You feel me? There you go. Booyah! KDK out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Booyah! It's not that strong right now. You don't get this from the farm fucker, right? You don't get this shit from the OM guy or the shed fucking guy. But there you go, bro. I deliver real content.
5 hospitalized in a collision of 2 high-speed trains in southern Spain. The BBC's Qodosen shows in the train.
Not too well. It's 5 minutes throughout the wreck of one of the trains. All the survivors, then 2 people who are injured. However, they're still working to pull survivors out of the other train.
European nations are moving to protect Greenland from Russian sunspot to make the island American territory. Qodosen is at the foreign desk in London.
Red line change there. We are not to fail. The kingdom of Denmark has ruled and protected Greenland for about 300 years. Last week, NATO troops deployed there for military exercises. Denmark's prime minister said she's supported by allies, saying Europe will not be blackmailed. Canada is like French President Macron to discuss his work in the annual retirement for the trade deal.
WBZ out of Boston.
Expressway 95 and Route 3 going to reduce speed due to this weather condition. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk driving and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place to grieve. Call the 24-hour Victim Help 877-9-HELP. Visit NAD.org. 31 degrees, Keith Perez, WBZ traffic on the scene. Here's the 4-day WBZ weather forecast. We will have snow at times continuing here through the early morning hours. It's going to get full of 3 to 6 inches, creating slow and slippery travel. We're down to 29, and then a bit of snow later today from Martin Luther King Day. Start today, the sunshine returning to the highs of 37. Much colder Monday night with partly cloudy skies, low down to 19. It'll be windy and cold on Tuesday despite sunshine, high 26. Clouds will be increasing on Wednesday, high bumping up to 32. And more clouds on Thursday, high around 40. I'm Matthew with the meteorologist Matt Ridgey, WBZ Boston News Radio. Good morning, I'm Alex Griffith, and here's what's happening. Well, punch that ticket to Denver. The New England Patriots moving on to the AFC Championship game next Sunday after they beat the Houston Texans yesterday, 28-16. Greg May did just enough to lead the Patriots to their first AFC Championship game since 2019 when Tom Brady led them to an overtime victory against the Chiefs. This year, it's the Patriots heading to Denver to play the Broncos at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Let's try Iowa. I can hear it, but it's just too much bleed over from 1050. So it's not going to happen right now. Hey, you can hear it. Yeah, WHO out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is a nice catch. But 1050 is just bleeding too much over right now. But I can hear it. So, it's there. I can hear it. Because my noise floor inside is a little higher. So if I was outside, the same setup, if I was outside, I would hear it better. But right now I'm indoors. I got a few lights. The noise floor is a little too above that it won't break through. It wouldn't break through here. But outside it would have broke through more, and I could null out 1050 a little bit. But right now, nah. But I can hear
it. Time, which led to the...
There you go. WBT out of Charlotte. Right now, it doesn't sound that good. No, so. It can sound better now. WBT's playing music. I don't think that's. I think that's something else now. Unless it's a bumper music for a show. I'm gonna let it play for a few minutes. Wow. Yeah, that's WBT. That gotta be WBT.
No matter where you are, Belmont, Valentine, Lake Norman, Lake Wiley, WBT.
There you go, WBT. All right.
7.9 FM. News, talk, traffic, weather.
There you go. North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina. 1110 WBT.
Your station.
It's locked in now.
Your station.
WBT now at 107.9 FM.
News, talk, traffic, weather, sports.
107.9 on FM.
We're there too. 107.9 FM, WBT.
Your station.
Wow, they play music. I never heard music on WBT.
107.9 FM. News, talk, traffic, weather, sports, live and local. 107.9 FM, WBT. Your city, your station.
Unless they're playing that music because there's another show that we don't fly. Maybe another talk show went offline and they're playing this music in the meanwhile. That's what I'm thinking. That sounds like elevated music.
Charlotte's on the move, and so is your station, News Talk, WBT, now at 107.9 FM. News, talk, traffic,
yeah, so this is something's going on.
107.9 FM, WBT.
It's like filler. Yeah, some talk show. Okay, let's see. Yeah, some talk show is not connecting to the studio, and maybe that's what's. They're just playing music right now. It's like dead air music. Oh wow, this is fun. Nuggets. Yeah, this is definitely filler music. Coming in good now. Wow, it's really booming now. 53 signal. It's really wow.
Charlotte's on the move, and so is your station. News Talk WBT, now at 107.9 FM. News, talk, traffic, weather, sports, live and local, wherever you are.
Yeah,
107.9 FM.
Right now it's dead air music.
Your station.
Something happened to the talk show. They're filling this in. I'm gonna let it play for a few more minutes.
Chinese economy, and it's just giving us some perspective on how it.
Stretch that rubber band as far as it can be stretched. The question is what happens next. Now, President Trump has been demanding much lower interest rates. When you look at it at face value, it's a silly demand because we've got, if you believe the numbers, very rapid economic growth. Inflation is still sticky. And if anything, the Fed, and you never know.
That could be a thing, and I think about, you mentioned the way we communicate with dogs, for example, and there's this nonverbal communication where we kind of give each other. Could you imagine aliens coming down?
WWVA out of West Virginia.
And like, I was thinking, used to see animals out because there are a lot of ways to get around technology is just so much more advanced than ours, but they don't get let's go to the Rockies and Donovan. Donovan, you're on the Toby channel. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening. I've been really interested in this subject for a few years, and I came across something in an alphabet.
WWVA out of Wheeling, West Virginia.
Talked about the shape of a teardrop being used.
Coming in pretty good.
As gravestones, and it had symbols, of the things that the Pharaoh held in his hand, and it was a Judeo-Christian grave site, and they used the shape of the teardrop, and they said it was physical manifestation of the presence of God. It makes you think about the idea of when you see someone cry, and then it makes you feel compassion for them, and then maybe it's just giving you a godly feeling, or something like that. So something you hear Egypt kind of came out of this isolated period and started to interact more in trade and cultural interchange with other areas around the Mediterranean. One of the things that you see is if some attitudes toward language start to show up in other places, especially this great one, very fascinating to look at Egyptian culture, with Egyptian religion, with Egyptian language, and so forth. And one of the things that starts to happen in the big melting pot that is the Mediterranean world at that time is cultures start to think that foreign things have power. The words that they use are magic in a sense, or they have significance because it's something that's alien to our everyday experience, and now we're exposed to this, and we begin to take certain symbols from other cultures, Egypt, to Greece, and so on, and invest them with their own meaning. Kind of think about what it means in their own terms. If you think about, we were talking about emojis earlier. Illustrating this, emojis. They seem kind of frivolous on the surface, but they're actually.
Unfortunately, it's going to get more staticky, more noisy as I go up because right now in my immediate area, I don't know what's going on. I know people still have Christmas lights. Believe it or not, people still have lights out there. My neighbors have their lights still. Once I get above 1,200 or so, it's going to be very noisy. So, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the reality right now. So 1180. See what I'm dealing with now? It's noisy. So unless it's a strong local, it's really noisy now. So anything above 1,100, whatever, 1,200, it just gets too noisy. So there you go. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate, despite my rants. Sorry about that. I apologize. But, yeah, I just wanted to address the issue one more time because somebody brought it up earlier today. Well, earlier yesterday, excuse me. Not today. Yesterday. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Have a great week, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.